It should be obvious at this point that Noah Lyles of the United States, the reigning world champion in the men's 100 and 200 meters, did not anticipate losing to Oblique Seville at the Racers Grand Prix in the men's 100 meters. So all I'm hearing are excuses. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thanks for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button and finally leave your thoughts. On ready? Yeah, good to go. Well, he is the reigning world champion twice, both in 100 and 200 meters, Noah Lyles. And on Saturday, I believe he received the shock of his life. You see, he was dusted by Jamaica's Oblique Seville, something that I had anticipated from last year. And it just sounds to me as if we're hearing every excuse under the sun. Sometime after he was whooped, and listen, I like Noah Lyles. I think he's very entertaining and very talented as an athlete. But sometime after he was whooped, he had some time to sort of, bring his mind together. The first excuse we heard was that the gun, the starter did something wrong.
9.85 tonight. You put on a very good show. Just 0.02 of your personal best.
Yeah.
But you seem as if you were not satisfied with your performance tonight. Tell us about it.
I was satisfied with the performance. I was disappointed in the gunman. I mean, none of us were even set. Half of us weren't even set before the gun went off. And that's very disappointing to see. But overall, the race was great. I came out here, I ran exactly what I thought I was going to run, anywhere faster than 988. And, just today it just wasn't what the win was,
Your first legal sub 10 this season.
Yeah.
How does that put you instead for the rest of your U.S. Olympic?
Yeah, it builds nothing but confidence. I'm seeing everybody else in the world, and me and Oblique is leading the world right now by leaps and bounds. So at this point, I'm walking into USA. It's like, y'all better put something on your chest before I cave in your chest.
All right, all the best, Noah.
Appreciate
it. Again.
Yeah, no, in terms of your execution though, during the race, mentally, where were you throughout?
After I kind of got rid of that blimp, after the gun was fired, I had to say, I'm in this. I have to go. There's no second gun, so I have to treat it like it's my all. So I went out there and I did exactly what I was doing in the back, and I felt like I executed everything from the 40. I might have got a tad long on the last 10 meters, but when you're chasing, you tend to do that. So I got to get back to my old ways and making sure that I don't try and go chasing people. I stay within myself in the last 10 meters. And, it's always good to have competition because that's the type of energy that it brings. It points out your weaknesses so you can go back and fix them.
And speaking about the competition, Oblique, it was an impressive run by him. Any words about his performance?
I think everybody's been kind of waiting for him to do that. We saw him run a bunch of 986s in the rounds back and at World Championships. A lot of people, including myself, was expecting them to probably grab a medal at Budapest, and even going back to 2022, we were expecting that as well. So, I kind of knew that these next few races he was going to drop something. He's already been PRing in the 200 and in the 400. So, again, it was expected to see something come up.
Does it feel like a rivalry between the both of you now since, a race on his own? So, you got the better of you?
How many other people have beat me once? How many other people have lost me many? All right, let's leave it there. All right.
Now, that interview was one that he did after he had time to gather his thoughts. This interview with the Observer came right after the actual race. Listen.
I feel great. I feel ready to run. I feel ready for everything that's moving on from here. Ready to go to the Olympic trials. All my best races happened after the second round, but 85, I'm never going to be upset with that. My coach came here saying that I'm in PR shape, running 985. I'm perfectly fine with that.
So what do you think about the track? The track is good?
Fast. The gun is faster. That needs to be fixed.
Okay.
Hopefully next time that'll be a different story.
Last year you was in a better position in the first place, but now you're in the second place. So you feel it?
Hey, there's nothing wrong. I say every year, when I get beat, y'all gonna be scared as shit. Because next time you see me, you won't worry.
Now, this is the actual race where Oblique Seville runs the new world lead off a new personal best and meet record of 9.82. Really spectacular run.
Off they come, Oblique Seville coming brilliantly.
And there can be no doubt that Noah Lyles' 9.85 is also extremely impressive. These are the two fastest times in the world so far for 2024. No one else is even close. Everyone else is way behind somewhere else. So these are very impressive times. And I have to concede that Noah Lyles is very respectful to Oblique Seville, pointed out the obvious that he anticipated last year, as we all did, that Oblique Seville would have ran an even faster time and would have medaled at World Championships, which is what we all anticipated, but we went through that, okay? The heat in Budapest, Oblique Seville was recovering from an injury, miscalculated, ran too fast in the first two rounds. We've talked about that. But here's the other thing that we need to talk about. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. Look, I can understand when an athlete is not used to losing, particularly losing to an athlete who you respect, but you don't rate. Jamaican, when we say rate in Jamaica, we kind of mean, you know, the athlete is really good, but you don't ever think that athlete can beat you. And I've been saying for quite some time that the problem Oblique Seville and some of the other athletes have is that they're being Muhammad Ali'd. Now, I love boxing. Anybody who follows me know I love boxing. I box. I'm not a great boxer. I'm an amateur, but I love boxing. And if you can get into the headspace of your rivals, you have won half the battle. What Noah Lyles has done brilliantly, and listen, this young man can run. His top end speed is insane. Insane. So let me get that clear. But what is masterful about Noah Lyles is that he's been able to get into the headspace of all of these athletes. Now, when people say that Oblique Seville looked over, Oblique Seville looked over because I think 2 things. He was a little surprised to be that far ahead, and 2, he's still worried about Noah Lyles. Glenn Mills, if you're hearing me, you may not, but somebody tell Glenn Mills I said this. The truth is, Noah Lyles should not ever beat this young man ever again. Not really. I really think that this young man, last Saturday, could have ran something akin to a 9.77 easily. He slowed down. 2, please, Mr. Glenn Mills, the great Glenn Mills, could you tell this amazing young man to stop slowing down and run right through the line? Just run through the line. Dip if you have to. Now, I see that you heard me when I said he needs to run 4s and 2s. It's clearly built, his speed, endurance, and his stamina. So he needs to be doing more, not less, coming into the Paris Olympic Games. But the thing that I think is most important about Oblique Seville is mental. Look, this young man, technically, is the fastest man in the world. He's been the fastest man in the world for some time. This young man can run close. I heard Glenn Mills say 2 years ago that this young man can break Usain Bolt's record. I do not believe Glenn Mills is one who gives in to hyperbole. I think he really believes that. And this young man has demonstrated that he can. The truth is, however, you cannot succeed unless you know you can. Him beating Noah Lyles should say to him, I've got this covered. This is my greatest rival and I can whoop him good. He beat him by a clear meter. That's serious whooping. So, Noah, rate you, respect you, awesome talent. But let's face it, the gun thing, I went back and I looked. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it happened in your head, but I've heard no other athlete complain about the gun, the starter's gun. I think you never anticipated losing to this young man and to lose in the manner in which you did. And I think it shook you up, and that's okay. You're probably going to go back and work really hard. But Mr. Mills, please listen to me. Oblique Seville should never lose to this man again. Not really unless he's injured, and he's not going to be injured. Because I'm telling you, if he continues on this path, and if he believes in himself, this young man can run something close to 9.70. You heard me right, at the Paris Olympic Games. So all these excuses that young Mr. Lyles are giving us, he might believe them. But the truth is, I think what happened here is that he underestimated Oblique and he was shocked and bewildered. You know, kind of like when you're in shock, you say strange stuff. I think he's in shock. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, hit the like button. Remember, you're royals, kings and queens. Bless up.